Good morning, Enid. It's good to see you again. It is Thursday, May 5th, and currently a very cool 43 degrees out. Slight breeze out of the north at 6 miles per hour, and it is going to be gorgeous. It's going to be sunny and 81. Thank you for joining us for our, 70th show or something like that. I lose track.
Like that.
Seems like we're always here, but thanks for joining us. I'm Steve Keim.
And I'm Ashley Keim.
We have a great show. May 5th is a special day for a lot of organizations, but it's also Holocaust Remembrance Day. And we've got a special program for that, so thanks for being with us today.
Welcome back on this gorgeous Thursday morning. We're excited to be here, and it is time to rise and shine.
Good morning, Enid. Again, it's 7:31. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday, May 5th. I failed to mention last week, I was saying thank you to Merrifield Furniture and also to Enid Floral and Gifts for helping our studio set. And I failed to mention Aaron's. Aaron's helps us with our some of our chairs and couch and all that other stuff. And I thought about that the other day and said, oops. So anyway, we're just really appreciative of everyone's support to help us with our studio. So,
absolutely.
Because we don't spend money, that's for sure.
That's right.
Okay, well, good to see you. It's amazing. The weeks go. I don't know if it's a age thing or what, but it just goes so quick.
It's May. I can't believe it. My kids are out of school next Friday.
Yeah.
Next Friday. They are beyond excited.
Well. Well, if you step out this morning, you want to know that it's very cool out. I stepped out on the back porch at the farm this morning. I thought, man, it feels like 40-something. And right now it's 43, but let's look at some statewide temps. And we'll go to Ashley's favorite place, Cookie Town, Oklahoma.
That's right.
It's at 48 degrees right now. So you can see from Elk City all the way to Grove up on Grand Lake from 43 to 50 degrees. And I guess that's Yuba.
I think so.
Haven't been to Yuba,
Sure.
but I've been to Krebs.
Okay.
I've been to
I have
Krebs.
not. One
Krebs
place
is over by McAllister.
Okay. One place
So-
that I have been to is Ames, Steve. I currently actually live.
Are you the queen of
I
Ames?
live just southeast of Ames.
You are the queen of
So,
Ames.
yeah,
How about
I would
that?
say that. So
Anyway, thank you, Penn. Those are our statewide temps. So, folks, if you're traveling across the state today on this gorgeous day, it's going to be sunny and 81, but you saw what the temps are across the state. Hasn't rained this week, but I wonder what the three-day forecast.
The
I heard
three-day
there's a hint of rain.
There
coming up.
is. On Sunday, there's a 50% chance of rain, so be prepared for that and be on the lookout for that. But as far as the weekend goes, it is going to be sunny and warm. We're going to stay in the mid to low 80s.
Whoa,
and
Saturday's
I mean,
warm.
the lows, Steve, are going to be in the high 50s. So it's going to be a gorgeous, warm weekend.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Appreciate the backdrop behind us. Is this your North 40 yard?
Yes.
Yes. Not the South 40, but the North
Right.
40?
You are correct.
We were at Dillingham Gardens this week, which is at North Government Springs Park, and the knockout roses were rosing. I mean, they were just really gorgeous, and so there's a lot of pretty flowers in Enid at this time.
Yes.
Well, this is, again, Thursday, May 5th, and a week from today will be the Mayor's State of the City address. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to meet Ashley in person, she will be at the Mayor's State of the City address.
Yes.
And it's from 11:30 to 1. If you want to eat lunch, it's $10. You don't have to eat lunch. You can still come and participate and listen to the mayor's comments. We've got Mark Haas from Coke Nitrogen who will be speaking.
Yes.
Bobby Castor is coming back to sing for us.
Very
and
excited.
and then Ashley will be there.
And I'll be there too. So
So-
it's going to be a great event. We hope to see many of you there. And Steve will be there as well.
Yeah,
So
I'll be taking tickets, parking cars, things of that nature. Today's May 5th. It's, I believe, National Day of Prayer. We talked about it was Holocaust Remembrance Day, but there's several things taking place on May 5th. And here it is, Wake Up America. Today is the National Day of Prayer. I know a lot of festivities in our community today and really across the state and across the nation. Our special program today is because of Holocaust Remembrance Day. And then it's Cinco de Mayo. You're the Spanish person, not me. So
Sure.
Tell us about that.
Cinco de Mayo. It is sometimes mistaken to be the Mexican Independence Day. It is also May 5th. No, the Battle of Puebla? We should ask Jomara about this, is who we should ask.
Why would she know?
Well,
just because she's from Puerto Rico, that doesn't mean.
Sure.
Yeah.
But don't forget about Cinco de Mayo, everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, it's 7:35. I want to find out what happened overnight in the news. And no better person to hear from is the bow tie guy, Derrick Silas.
Governor Mary Fallin endorses Donald Trump as contender for POTUS and welcomes the possibility of being a vice presidential candidate. Oklahoma House Committee approves firearms legislation, and lawmakers tackle a loophole in the state's sodomy law. Today is the 65th annual National Day of Prayer. This year's theme is Wake Up America. This week, we have the annual Tri-State Music Festival, which started yesterday and goes through tomorrow, May 6th. Do you know when this all began? Well, Tri-State started with the first Phillips University Band Day in 1932 with about 10 bands participating, and now the legacy still continues approximately 80-something years later. Tomorrow, Oklahoma City Thunder takes on the San Antonio Spurs. In Oklahoma City, at 8:30 p.m., it will air on ESPN. And on this day in history, in 1961, Navy Commander Alan Bartlett Shepard Jr. becomes the first American astronaut to travel into space. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Steve and Ashley.
Have you traveled into space?
We will just have to wait and see. You know, I don't know if I can talk about that on air,
but
Steve.
think about it, getting shot up in a tin can to zoom around for 15 minutes and then come back. So Oklahoma's had a lot of astronauts. We're proud of that representation. So
amazing.
Wow, it is
Another
amazing.
thing that we are proud of is hearing from you. We love to hear from you, so I want to remind you all, don't forget about our email address. We'd love to hear from you. It is gme@enid.org. And, you know, we enjoy hearing from you. Any pictures, events that you have going on, anything special you want us to talk about, let us know.
AJ's got a new family member out at the farm. And AJ, what's the new family member's name? Raymond. So we got Nelson, the one you don't want to mess with, and I forgot the other one. Arliss. Yeah, thank you. And now we got Raymond. And I had a pheasant. There's Arliss right there. Arliss, how you doing? But I had this gorgeous pheasant Tuesday night go through my backyard on his way to the cornfield. Just gorgeous.
They are
and it has the
right
white
now.
neck and the red, and just, I'm looking, I go, man, that's a big chicken. And then I'm looking again, I go, whoa, that's a pheasant. That's my first pheasant that I've seen on the farm, and maybe we can get pictures of that. So that was pretty impressive. Sure. Speaking of food, pheasant, get that? Okay. Let's check our menus. If you have a pre-K all the way to 5th grade, Ashley, why don't you take Thursday for us?
Thursday, today, they will be having beef tacos with lettuce and cheese, ranch beans, some mixed fruit, and milk.
Very good. And ribacue sandwich is on the lineup for Friday, along with green beans. I like green beans. Onion rings, only if they're fried. Applesauce is okay. Carrot cake, only if I can put something on top, and then milk. So anyway, that's the menu. We appreciate Penn putting that together for us. And at 7:39, we have a very special guest. We're glad that Jomara's here. Jomara does a great job for us. And at 7:39 and holding steady at 43 degrees, it is time now for One-on-One with Jomara.
Good morning, Enid. Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and Steve had the opportunity to interview Holocaust survivor Marion Blumenthal and her husband. We are very humble and honored that she made time to share her story with us. She is the author of the book, for Perfect Pebbles, and she also shared how she spent most of her childhood in a concentration camp and was released when she was about 10 years old. Let's listen to this story, and I hope you enjoy it.
I have had the opportunity to hear your story or part of your story, Marion, and it's very powerful. And let me just begin our interview. This happened quite some time ago, but why do you tell your story today?
It is of utmost importance to share the story today while there is still time. Today's generation is the very last generation that'll hear these stories firsthand and have their questions answered, but above all, made to understand the lessons learned of this dark period of our history, simply to be kind and good and respectful towards one another. That is definitely the basis for peace. Had there been respect and tolerance towards one another some 70 years ago, you and I would not be talking about that dark period of our history. And 9/11 would not have happened. Libya, Iraq, Syria, North Korea, all these countries that are in such turmoil would be peaceful for its people. So there is so much to be learned from this dark period of our history. And that works right in with character education. And that's something we all need. So I'm always very grateful that I'm given the opportunity to speak to and with audiences of all ages, but particularly our young ones, middle school, high school, university school students. Sure. And it needs to be done now. So it's become a mission. And Nathaniel, my husband of almost 63 years, and I will just run as fast as we can as long as we're able. And it's a lot of schlepping, let me tell you. Okay.
Well, it's amazing how fast the calendar goes. I was talking with Nathaniel earlier today, and I made the comment about my dad served in World War II, but he's no longer with us. He's passed away. And I mentioned to your husband that as quickly as time goes, there will be people that don't remember the 40s, that will maybe not recall certain events of World War II and things of this nature. And it's just amazing how quickly time goes, and if we're not doing anything to preserve that information, it's really challenging. I want to look at my notes from time to time, Marion, because I definitely want to get it right for our audience. And in one of your talks that I've noticed that you have out on the internet, you said that your talk is one of perseverance, determination, faith, and hope. So if those were kind of four key themes, what's the main lesson that you want people to take away when you speak at a school assembly or to a group of adults? Yes, it's about determination and faith and hope and perseverance. When they walk out the door, what do you want them to take with them?
First of all, to make them understand and pass along that the Holocaust did happen. We all know that there are people out there who have their own agenda.
Sure.
And deny that the Holocaust has happened. The audience that hear this firsthand know that it has. That's number one. Number two, and you'll hear me say this over and over again, simply to be respectful, kind, and tolerant towards one another. That's it. That is definitely the basis for peace. So, and we have to clean up our own little corner first, one by one by one. And it's as simple as that.
My special guest today on City Connections, Marion Blumenthal, Lazan. And you can go to, let me look, make sure I get this right, forperfectpebbles.com. And you can find out a lot of things about Marion, but that kind of leads in. We'll talk about her book a little bit more, and you can see a picture of the cover of her book right now. But it's forperfectpebbles.com if you want to find out more about what we're talking about and what the mission, as Marion had referred to. Now, Marion, I know that you speak to big people, adults and students all the time. You travel internationally to do so. Are students your favorite audience? Or maybe you should tell me who is your favorite audience.
Actually, audiences of all ages. It works beautifully well from ages 5th grade on up, university students, adult members of the community, and it's a human interest story. And somehow audiences of all ages identify. Either they identify with me as a child, my 2-year older brother, or my parents, particularly my courageous and enormously wonderful mother, who passed away 3 years ago.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
let me interrupt, but you've got a picture of Mom.
I sure do.
So why don't you share that?
I don't know how to do this.
That you're
Hold this.
fine
This is-
like that? And
This is my mother on her 104th birthday. Nathaniel took this photo, and it is not photoshopped or whatever that's called. And that's she had 104.
Yeah.
And Mom passed away 6 weeks short of her 105th birthday.
Wow.
An amazing, amazing lady. Tremendous inner strength and fortitude. And there's no doubt that I survived because of her
Right.
attitude towards life. And
well, later on in our interview, we want to talk about the importance of your mother and your brother and father and just how to cope. And one of the things that you said in the assembly that I heard to help you cope with at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, in these conditions, you played some imagination games. I think we've all been involved in imagination games, that we were a fireman or some, but you had imagination games to cope, to kind of get through each day. And can you tell us a little bit about those games? I think that leads into your book, and we'll talk more about your book in a little bit, but explain to us, what is she talking about?
The title of the book is For Perfect Pebbles, F-O-U-R spelled out. And that's, of course, the website as well. And it's based on one particular, I played various games, but this one is based on one particular game, a game of superstition. I decided for myself that if I were to find 4 pebbles of about the same size and shape, that would mean that the 4 members of my family would all survive. My mother, my father, my brother, and I. It was a very difficult game to play. What if I couldn't find the 3rd or 4th pebble? Might that mean that 1 or 2 of my family members would not pull through? Nevertheless, this game gave me something to hold on to, some distant hope. And I played other imaginative games. We had nothing to occupy our time with constructively, no books, no pencil, no paper, certainly no games. And here I was only 9 and 10 years old, and there was nothing to keep me busy. So I made up these games. And these games were my survival techniques. They were my survival skills.
Sure.
Do you know that we all have survival skills and techniques within us? When the need arises, we just have to search for them, find them, and be sure that we put them to work. Because no one is spared adversity. No one is spared hardship. We all have to overcome obstacles at one time or another. But with perseverance, determination, faith, and above all hope, one can overcome just about anything and everything.
And hope is that very important 4-letter
You
word.
bet.
That's very important.
You bet.
Is there any way that you could share with our television audience, Marion, I don't even want to say a typical day, that would make light of it, but can you just kind of share a day when you were 7, 8 years old in one of these camps? You said there's no book, there's no pen, but I mean, all you have is yourself and your mind for these imagination games. Can you kind of share with us when you had to get up, when you had to do this and whatever? Can you kind of give us just a glimpse? Because I really want people to take away.
On a daily basis, we first of all, we got up and there was nothing to eat.
Sure.
Once a day, they would give us a piece of bread and some hot, watery soup with grizzly meat, turnips, and potato peel. But in the mornings, we first had to line up on a huge field. It was called an Appellplatz. We had to stand 5 in a row as we were counted, which also was a ridiculous thing because people died all the time. There was no way that they could keep track of our numbers, of the numbers. And we would have to stand there sometimes all day without food, without water, no matter what the weather, without protective clothing. And frostbite was common, and we would treat our affected toes and fingers with the warmth of our own urine. That's all we had to treat frostbites. And the days was just squandered away. We just had nothing to do. for children that was nothing but boredom and fear, always afraid of what would happen to us next, afraid of who would die next. Would my mother come back from her work duties? As far as I'm concerned, fear was the worst emotion to deal with. And
Fear of the unknown, I guess.
yeah, that's what, I suppose that's what it is.
Yeah.
And
Welcome to Community Development. I'm Chris Bauer, Planning Administrator. The mission of community development is to provide oversight and administrative review functions of zoning, growth, and the sustainability of the community. This involves comprehensive planning, project development, subdivision development. Our goal is to help citizens with developmental projects by providing hands-on assistance. We frequently lend guidance with site development plans, use by review, land use changes, subdivision plats, and lot splits. We look forward to serving you for your next residential, commercial, and industrial development. Please contact me at the number or email on our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Bauer, and good morning, Enid. At 7:51, holding steady at 43 degrees. It's going to be a sunny 81-degree day and just a slight breeze out of the north. Could be a golf course day.
It could be.
Could be. I
You
won't be
didn't have
there.
to be at the office.
But yeah. We have a budget meeting today. I think we have a graphic for that. I think Penn's just assembled so many different things. But on this Thursday, we have City Commission meeting, study session at 5 o'clock today. And that'll be in the lower level conference room. Then at 6:30, we'll have our regular meeting. It was moved from Tuesday to Thursday. And so that will take place tonight. And so we have all kinds of budget meetings for next week. Really, month of May is all about budgets. The mayor's luncheon is next Thursday, so we encourage you to go to enid.org. That's our website, and it lists everything in the world that's going on.
It does everything that we're doing and that we're taking part of. But we would love to see you next Thursday, especially, and then also at the commission meeting tonight. It is open to the public, or don't forget that you can stream that online as well.
Right, at enidtv.org.
Yes.
So, anyway. Is it time for the news?
It is. I think it's time for the news and to check back in with Derrick, our bow tie guy.
Governor Mary Fallin endorses Donald Trump as contender for POTUS and welcomes the possibility of being a vice presidential candidate. This week, the Oklahoma House Committee approves firearms legislation and lawmakers tackle a loophole in the state's sodomy law. Today is the 65th annual National Day of Prayer. This year's theme is Wake Up America. Each year, the President of the United States issues a proclamation designating the first Thursday in May as a National Day of Prayer on which the people of the United States may turn to God in prayer and meditation at churches and groups and as individuals. This week in Enid, we have the annual Tri-State Music Festival, which started yesterday and goes through tomorrow. Do you know how the name came about? Well, during a meeting in the old Youngblood Hotel, it was decided that the band needed a name. Since bands were drawn from Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, it was unanimously decided to call it Tri-State. Tomorrow, Oklahoma City Thunder takes on the San Antonio Spurs in Oklahoma City at 8:30 p.m. It will air on ESPN. And on this day in history, 1961, Navy Commander Alan Bartlett Shepard Jr. becomes the first American astronaut to travel into space. He went into space aboard the Freedom 7 space capsule. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to you, Steve and Ashley.
Boy, Derrick's just a walking encyclopedia.
He is.
This
He
guy-
amazes me every week.
He knows more things than books. That's incredible. It's 7:54. Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to remind you at 8 o'clock today, you saw the interview segment that we had with Marion, Blumenthal, Lazan. Well, you can see that entire interview at 8 o'clock this morning here on Channel 12 and also 112. So that was just a short 10-minute, I guess, episode or little part of that interview. But the 30-minute or so interview with Marion is coming up at 8 o'clock. So you want to stay tuned for that. So.
Yes, tune into that. It was an amazing interview.
Well, people, Ashley, are probably planning for the weekend. What are you
think
doing for
they
the
are. I
weekend
think
with your
they
two
We
munchkins?
We have so many high school graduations to go to this weekend. We're
Okay.
going to be jumping around and, you know, making our rounds and congratulating all of the graduates
I
for
remember
this
my
year.
senior year in high school. It was the best 2 years of my life.
Just like third grade,
Yeah,
right?
like, third grade was 3 years, you know. And I had a great teacher. I just wanted to stay with her, you know.
Right.
So tell us about the weekend forecast
Yes,
then,
the
please.
3-day forecast this weekend, Steve. We're going to be up into the low to mid 80s. It's going to be a fabulous weekend. The low is going to stay in the high 50s as well. And then there's a 50% chance of rain on Sunday, so be prepared for that. Be on the lookout. But otherwise, it's going to be a sunny, warm, fabulous weekend.
I like the way you said that. The low in the high 50s. Did you catch that,
Yes.
folks?
Yes.
And it's the lows in the high 50s. So the lows in the high 50s. We have a brand new team member that we want to introduce this morning, Jessica Laris. Came all the way from Ohio's yonder way, foreign country, up north or whatever.
north.
She imagine that. She followed her husband to Vance Air Force Base. We are so excited to have Jessica with us today. And you see her on the right of your screen. And that
Yes.
little puppy dog right there, oh, mercy.
That little puppy dog is Emma, Steve. She is a healer shepherd mix. She is 3 months old. She is very playful, energetic, and very happy, lovable. She needs some kids. So the adoption fee will be $115, and that includes her being spayed and the rabies vaccines, and so she will be current and up to date.
Have you noticed how color coordinated Jessica is with the purple
Yes.
blouse and the purple?
Yes.
Tell us about Emma, Jessica.
She's a typical puppy. She's very playful, very happy, likes everybody,
Yeah.
and just looking for a new family.
Yeah.
Her little tail's always wagging, as you can see.
Well, tell us a little bit about the work that you did up in Ohio and things of that nature.
In Ohio, I worked for a humane society for 5 years. I did adoption coordinator and also animal caregiver, so kind of a jack of all trades. I did a little bit of everything there, and it's just a very, very rewarding job.
Absolutely. And look at Emma. She's so well behaved.
And it's 249-4910. Is that the right number,
Yep.
Jessica? Okay.
It
And how much
is.
was it to adopt her again? Do you remember?
$115.
And Jessica, that covers, I guess, just all shots and just all the costs for that. Is that
Yep,
how that
the
works?
spay and the rabies vaccine. Yep,
So she is ready for a good home.
she is.
So let's try to get her a
Can you
done.
show
Look at
everybody the
her.
tennis ball that comes with Emma?
This is her
a
favorite
well-used
toy.
tennis ball, and what a precious puppy dog. Now, folks, you have been so good for the past couple years when we show these pets. You have been so gracious, and for families who need the right puppy dog, if you will, you've called 249-4910, and you've adopted pets. So Emma needs a great home, a lot of energy. She needs a big backyard. She needs a couple small kids,
Yes.
probably.
Absolutely.
2 to 5 kids, something like that, because she has a lot of energy. But look how just
Absolutely.
mild-mannered. Emma,
So precious.
we're going to find you a home.
We are.
So we have just a little bit. Jessica, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining our team. We look forward to seeing you every Thursday morning, and we appreciate everyone calling 249-4910 to adopt Emma. So, well, another quick morning. This Thursday, we've got a city commission meeting tonight. National Day of Prayer, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and tell us about Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. It's today. So
Tell us
stay
some more.
tuned.
That's all you know.
That's about all I've got today, Steve. But again, thank you for joining us. We love being here, and we will see you next week.
Right. High today is going to be around 81 degrees.
81?
So we got a little bit of time before we go. Just appreciate everybody being part of our show. Make it a great day.